A darkness spreads across this land. I cannot see the end of your journey, only distant places. The cards foretell of darker times that lay ahead. The power of the gods to turn the wheels of time has fallen into the grasp of dark forces. They have cast their eye upon the world to be taken for their own. The gates of hell themselves have been torn open. Vile creatures flow in from beyond. I see changes coming.
What will you become, my sweet, sweet child?
Before there was light, there was darkness. Before there was order, there was chaos. An endless war between the gods and their enemies. A war the gods could not win. Till a champion arose, wielding a weapon of otherworldly power. The war was won, the enemy banished, but the weapon was shattered, its fragments scattered across the new formed world. Now, thousands of years later, many seek the fragments of that long-lost weapon. Among them, our 5 brave heroes. The druid, troubled by dreams and his own temper. The blacksmith turned warrior in search of revenge. The raider, determined to protect her friends and her growing family. The traveller from a distant land, guardian of those down on their luck. And the girl willing to sell her soul for a taste of adventure. Their hunt will take them to distant and dangerous lands, far beyond the borders of Ishval.
Hi, everybody. We here at McStabber Studios appreciate you tuning in to see our tabletop RPG streams. Some of the content of our streams may be a bit mature and cause emotional responses in viewers. We really take the well-being of our viewers very seriously, and we want you to do what you need to if something triggers you. Mute the stream, take a break, or just skip an episode. Otherwise, if you decide to stay tuned in, we are available in chat during the streams to talk you through it if you need that. Thank you so much, and we hope you enjoy this game session.
Jason Carl. Jason Carl. Jason Carl.
Let's tell a vampire story.
Good evening, everyone. It's your boy Twitch again, bringing you news from around the kindred time. This week, Locke was seen with Zachary over at Purgatory. She didn't know that Bud Liquor was his ex-girlfriend. This should be a lot of fun. And we're at the Succubus Club. It seems Marcus Vitale was seen hanging out there. I wonder what him and Lily talked about. This week, we're brought to you by Luca Blood Product Services. Luca, private toppings and potential of blood.
free-range, ethically sourced, cruelty-free, certified humane, organic blood products. Delivered by our conscientious and discreet private fleet.
Secret.
We make sure our stock is local, sustainable, and diverse enough to suit even the most discriminating tastes.
Taste.
Aluka, Blood Product Services. Tapping the potential of blood.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' DC by Night Vengeance Waits Vignettes. Tonight's vignette involves Locke going out to meet with the Thin Bloods so she can try to convince them to lay low, quit getting noticed, not work for Stanford, and, die. Please enjoy. And for this scene, Locke is going out to meet the Thin Bloods during their rant in an attempt to, finish her cataloging, which has been an important thing for Locke, and to also see if she can convey to them the importance, I believe, of being safe right now. And you've been told that by Mallory that the rant is going on just outside of DC in Clinton. There's a warehouse, an empty warehouse that they've said it is this night. And Mallory said the expected attendance is 25 people.
Okay.
What's your plan to get there?
I have a car.
Well,
I have Slinky. And one thing, did Mallory let them know I was coming, or is this a...
He didn't let them know, but you also know that if any of them are the ones that you've found already, they'll know who you are.
Yeah.
Because you've already at least made yourself aware to them. So there'll probably be some that might recognize you. But no, he didn't tell them you were coming because he figured that most likely they would not be there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
No, I use my regular hoopty. Hasn't broken down
car?
yet.
Not yet. I mean, it ran. It's just
at some point she'll just be left on the side of the road
in Clinton.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ride over there, and you can do your wits awareness, of course.
Okay.
Because we always got to roll some wits awareness.
Oh yeah. To do. 2 10s. So 4. I'm using an online dice roller.
That's perfectly fine.
So I don't feel like grabbing my dice.
We normally don't use them that often, but this is a drive, and I don't want you to think I'm not having people following you once in a while. Do you bring anyone else? And what do you do about Zachary?
Oh, what day are we on? Zachary.
This would be after your third taste, so he's at least fully bound with the 3-point, not the 6, but the 3 at a minimum. So he's at least bound enough that you can say he's bonded.
He's staying behind.
Okay.
He is on a probationary basis down with Jack.
Okay.
She will insist on a shower. And if he does not have clean clothes, how big is he? Like, is he real tall, real broad?
Maybe 6'1". He's on his skinnier side. Most gangrel are rather lean and wiry because...
Yeah. I mean, Locke's clothes is generally pretty bulky, so she'll at least find him a new shirt.
You can point him at several laundromats.
I mean, she's got to have something. It's at least like, her stuff is real baggy, so it'll probably actually fit him.
And I'm sure you could put him in some hipster clothes pretty easy, too.
A Snoopy shirt.
Snoopy shirt?
Wearing a Snoopy shirt.
Okay.
So
funny. You're leaving him behind. Do you tell anyone you're going?
I do text Lily.
Mm-hmm.
And no, just Lily.
Just Lily? Okay. Just curious who you were telling you were going.
Former Primogen probably doesn't need to know, but Lily is the failsafe.
That way somebody at least knows where to look for you if you never come back. Got it. And you ride out there, and Clinton is not the best of neighborhoods. Especially not where the warehouses are. Not that Locke is really afraid of that, but you get out there, and the rant was supposed to start at midnight. Do you arrive?
I will arrive before.
Okay.
And scout.
Okay, so you set up a good distance back to watch who's coming and going. And there's a number of vehicles pull up. Most of the vehicles, when they pull up, have like 3 or 4 people in it. There seems to be a bit of carpooling tonight. A number of motorcycles pull up. You even see a couple come up on foot. But your guess, by your count, if nobody's coming in a different entrance, there's 23 people you saw going in the warehouse.
23.
Mm-hmm.
How many of them are the ones that I recognize?
You probably recognize a good 15 of them.
Yeah.
So most of them know of you. You've done pretty good on your little searches around DC at this point, so you know most of them.
Okay. So some of them are probably Mallory's, some of them are mine, and does Mallory show up?
No.
Okay.
Mallory's taken your words about going to ground a bit.
Smart.
He doesn't, I mean, the rants are mainly to discuss issues that Thin Bloods have with each other and to exchange some ideas and stuff, and I don't think right now Mallory has anything to contribute. Other than I've told you to hide, stay low, and don't get murdered.
Yeah. Why aren't you fucking hiding?
Or not to gather in a group of 20 some odd of you in one spot.
Okay. She'll wait for it to get underway. And then she will head over with Slinky at her heels.
Okay. Do I get to eat them?
No, these are the not as great tasting ones. Sorry.
You have too many bad tasting friends. Well, but you told me you don't eat friends.
We don't. I have way too many bad tasting friends and associates. Everyone I deal with these days tastes bad. Oh.
We need to find some good juicy people.
We do. We'll work on that. We'll work on that pretty soon.
Okay. I'm here with you. And as you get close to the warehouse, you can hear the murmur of the voices. There's no music playing or anything. You just hear murmur of voices.
Okay.
The door has, of course, been drawn closed, but there's nobody outside watching.
Really? She pops on Eyes of the Beast and looks around. Are these fuckers really leaving it unguarded?
They don't see anybody.
Okay. All right, cool. She goes up to the
Security
door.
through obscurity. We know it works.
Huh?
Security through obscurity. We know that works, right?
She goes up to the door. Is it locked?
Nope.
At least?
No, just drawn closed.
These are... Man, blood's fucking failing all over the place. She'll go in.
Okay, and when you walk in, you see them, they're pretty much just gathered. It's the oddest thing for a rant, or supposed rant. They seem to be clustered in groups of like 4 or 5 talking to each other. It looks more like a social hour than an actual... You've seen rants. You were in LA. You've seen what goes on. Whoever told them this concept didn't fully explain it, apparently. Because it's not what you've seen, because you've been to them.
Yeah.
Normally there's music and, a lot of screaming and yelling and sometimes pushing and shoving and fighting. Not in this one.
This is a fucking coffee shop.
As soon as the door opens, everybody's heads whip towards to see who's come in. And the ones you've met, they obviously look nervous. The ones who haven't met you just kind of look at each other like, who's this?
Is her main dude from the people that she knows here?
There's a woman that you know pretty well, Pamela. She's here.
Okay. She's like, Pam. Hi.
What are you doing?
We need to talk security.
And the person next to her, she's talking to somebody you don't know. Who's this, Pam? It's a friend.
Please introduce me. They should know who I am already if they had any information.
I mean, they don't know what you look like, so they don't know. Pam goes, Wallace, this is Locke. And his face just kind of falls a little. And you can hear it spreading through the crowd. That low whisper where you hear your name like an echo. Where, Locke, that's Locke. And it spreads around, and pretty soon you have everyone's attention.
Good. And she says, look, I am not here to start bullshit. All right? I'm not here as Hound. I'm not here as a pissed off gangrel. I'm not here as any of that. But you will have to understand the situation right now and how dangerous this is.
And you hear a voice shout from somewhere in the room. How in the hell did you find us?
See, that's for me to know. I'm not just a dumb fucking gangrel.
And someone else yells, "You're not supposed to be here."
But I am. It's weird.
And Pam goes, "Just calm down a minute and listen to her. She's got good things to say."
All right. Look. You understand these nights are dangerous right now. And they're even more dangerous for your kind. Right?
Do you see some heads nod? And you hear some mutters about, it's always dangerous.
Oh, it's more dangerous. Like, it can be dangerous, and it can be more dangerous. I've been doing this for a while, and there are levels of dangerous, and this is probably the most dangerous I've had to live through yet.
And you see the ones that nodded, and mainly the ones you've met, kind of are nodding their heads, because you've talked to most of them at least a little bit. Some of them maybe not as much as Pam, but you've talked to at least all of them a little bit. But the other 8, they don't seem to be buying what you're selling right at the moment.
Okay. How many? You all know who Stanford is, right? You've got to know who Stanford is.
Wallace goes, "We know to avoid him, and well, actually, we know to avoid you."
Well, first of all, if Stanford finds you, he'll either do one of two things to you. He will use you, make promises, I'm sure, like he'll let you suck down some person he didn't need around, bring you on full time, that kind of thing. It's a lie, you'll die. Or he'll just kill you outright, because that's what a lot of them want to do. And right now, how many of you know what the Primogen Council is? Just hands, just show of hands.
And you get about 10 hands. Some of them that you would, about 10.
Cool. Great. This is why I wanted to do like introductory classes and shit like that. Okay,
and then
so
somebody shouts from back, "We didn't vote no council in. What is this?"
Oh, there is no fucking vote. There's a reason why the guy who rules over everything is called a prince and not like a senator. There's not a vote. So the council is generally the one thing that keeps the prince in check. Because it is the power of the clans saying, "Oh, please don't. We will not support this action," and he has to at least kind of pretend to get along with them. That council's gone now.
So, here's somebody else, but this is America. We don't have kings.
Oh, we don't have kings. I don't think there's a king, Kindred, but we have princes. You're not in America. I'd like to see any of you, I'm guessing some of you are young enough that you still have shit like, driver's licenses that work. But give it 50 years. Give it 20 years. That shit wears out.
And Pam nods her head from this, because you know that Pam she's one of the olders.
Yeah. That shit wears out. You suddenly can't get renewals. You suddenly can't get the paperwork to match up anymore. You've got to pay out the ass to get the paperwork to match up. You're not in America anymore.
And Wallace goes, "So what are we supposed to do then? I mean, we got to go and hobnob with a prince and call him my lord?" And
no, what you need to do is survive. You all need to survive the next few months, because things have gotten really bad. He's dissolved the council, so he has nothing holding him back. And let me assure you, let me tell you, nobody told me to be the whip to the Primogen of the Clanless. I asked for that. I asked for it specifically so I could try to keep you people alive. Because, you're...
Go ahead, finish.
You're shat on, you're killed, you're not even properly educated. Like, for shit's sakes, I learned what the Primogen Council was my, second night. You know, you are vulnerable, no matter how powerful you feel.
And Pam speaks up and yells out with you, look at our numbers here. How many are missing tonight? So...
How many are missing?
Pam's like, well, normally we had 35, 40 people. I don't know how many went to ground like they were told, but she's like, how many of us are missing? And we all have heard stories right now of friends that we've had that we don't know where they went. So, and you might want to listen to Locke. She knows a couple things.
I've survived. I've survived a war that happened in DC, which many of you, if you weren't turned at that point, you may not have known about. But I, got through that, went across the country, and dealt with the gangrel leaving the fucking Camarilla, and not really having any, place I can go. I know what it's like to survive. I've had nothing.
Someone yells, we're not part of that.
No, well, the thing is, here's the thing. Everybody's a part of it, whether you like to or not. Whether you like it or not. Somebody knows where you are, who you are, they will track you down. And I told myself I wasn't a part of it. I didn't deal with that bullshit. I didn't need a coterie. I didn't need whatever. I didn't deal with Camarilla. I didn't deal with anarchs. I was on my own, and it was a fantasy. Because the only way we survive these nights is with each other. That's it. But unfortunately, we're all assholes. And that complicates matters.
And you hear someone yell, yeah, Harris, you're an asshole too.
Who is an asshole?
Harris. He's yelling at one of the other guys in the room.
And trust me, full-blooded kindred are 100% more assholes.
Wallace, you'll notice that you've already started to notice Wallace seems to be one that is outspoken, but a lot of people keep glancing at him, even some of them that you've met before. And Wallace goes, so what are we supposed to do? Just act like we're people and not,
I'm curious, are you guys in coteries?
Most of us run with gangs, or, not all of us, or we just, we've got our friends and we've learned, some of us have family still too, but most of us just hang out with each other, and because, who else to hang out with that knows your condition?
Good first step. Second step, learn what each other can do. Learn to survive together. If you have families, move them as far away from DC as you can. Doesn't need to be like LA. Wouldn't actually recommend LA. But move them a little bit further out of the reach. Because remember, people like me, we have one big limitation. And that is daytime. Not a huge limitation. Because we could just tell someone else to go do something. But it is a limitation.
And you hear a voice in the back. Why don't we just you got rid of the council, so we can just get rid of him now, right?
You can't. He's old. He's connected. He would be extremely hard to take out. This is a matter. There are matters you will learn as you live through this bullshit. There's matters for people at the bottom to deal with, all the petty bullshit. And then there's the things you just let the big fuckers take each other out. And one day, you know what? There won't be any of them left. Survive until that.
And Wallace is like, so how do we you're telling us that they're powerful, they're over, then how do we survive it? If it's that dangerous...
You stay out of the way of the gunfire. You do not get involved with Stanford. You don't get involved with anyone who's like, hey, you can help take it. No, just anyone who comes to you, just say what you have to say in order to survive that moment, and then fucking get out.
And someone else says, I heard there was this guy, Glenn, that was taking in those like us. I mean, what are we even? Are we vampires or not vampires? I mean,
oh my
I've
God,
heard both.
Really?
Well, I've heard both. I've heard I'm a vampire and I drink blood, but then I've heard others say that I'm not a real vampire.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Do y'all know who Cain is?
And you see some nods from that one. Okay. I mean, it's the Bible.
He's like the first one, and then he makes some, but every generation it gets weaker. Some of the things that I can do, okay, so like I am probably the last generation before your generation, just to put this in perspective, right? Got it?
Yeah.
So I can sire, although it'd probably turn out to be like you. I can't go out during the day. That's just a non-fucking starter.
And Wallace looks and goes, neither can I.
But I mean, sometimes it happens. Like, I'm sorry, it sucks for you. Because that was like the one thing you had going for you is like being able to go out during the day. I can't eat food. Food does nothing for me. Until recently, like, I mean, now I can eat food. But, it's a...
Oh, well, I'm losing Katie. There we go. Now right. Katie's back. Now we can continue.
Yay. So where was I?
You're talking about what you can and can't do.
Yeah. So, like, I can sire. I can create blood bonds. I can do a lot more than you. Which the only difference between you and me is that when you go further up the generations, they can just do it better. But there are things that I can do that you can't. But to be honest, if I'm going to be real fucking honest with all of you, it's really, I don't think it's worth the trade-off if you can still go out during the day and can still drink beers and, kind of almost be normal.
And Wallace goes, well, what about, what's going to happen to those who made us? I mean, we didn't ask for this. Most of us didn't want to be like this. So
most kindred didn't want to be like this. Most of us.
Can you help us find who did it?
Yeah. If that is something you want, yes, I will help you find your sire. And we will figure it out. Most of the time it's a mistake. I've heard some disturbing things about people doing it on purpose, which is upsetting. Because you don't generally... you don't sire a fucking army unless you're like Sabat. Show of hands, who knows what Sabat is?
Not a single hand goes up for this one.
Crazy motherfuckers. Whatever they promise, don't do it. They're just...
And you hear another voice shout up. You don't know who this one's coming from. So, I mean, what's your angle? What do you want from us? You're giving us all this advice, but I've already learned that nobody gives anything for free and of our kind.
So here's the thing. Everybody's always kind of shat on the Thin Bloods. And I always thought that was the wrong take. That you guys are the bringers of the end times, the Gehenna, whatever. And here's my take. It's that everybody's getting mad at the fucking fire alarm. And that things are starting to go wrong. The humans, the kind, they're getting smarter. They're able to do more.
Well, that's because some humans picked up Jacob a couple weeks ago, but... Oh, we got him back.
Oh, okay. Okay, good to know. You might be... The Gehenna isn't coming from you. It's coming from the kind. And you might be the only way to actually survive. and maybe find balance. Because this bullshit's going to end one way or the other. We've got elders getting called off to the Middle East somewhere. I don't know. They're getting told to go out there and fight a big battle, and that can get dusted. It's obvious things are changing, and you all are an important part of that. And I don't know how many people see that.
Then Pam looks over at you, and so we keep our head down for the war, and then what?
Then it's probably a part of just learning how to fucking live with humanity. Because at some point they're going to be so good at pegging us and figuring out who we are that there won't be any more hiding. No matter how much money, no matter how many powers, they will figure it out. They already have started.
But what about this war thing? Are the war's going to end and we're going to get to be part of some big vampire society? How's this going to...
Probably. We kind of need to let some of the old ones, answer that fucking phone call that keeps coming into their heads. Let them kill each other off. Because right now they're the biggest problem. They fuck everything up. They come in and they act like they know what to do, and they just kind of... everything goes to hell when they're around. But they're big and powerful and connected. So we kind of need them to thin themselves out.
One of the guys up front looks at you and goes, "My name's Bishop. What if I don't want a prince? Do I just leave? Nobody's told me anything. I've heard good things about L.A., but then you say, no, L.A.'s not exactly good either."
Well, okay, L.A. is good if you have a high tolerance for bullshit. You can
DC?
hide out in L.A.
Bullshit, DC?
Different bullshit. If you want to get to LA, and if you can get yourself a ticket, I can give you a name.
Okay.
Someone who will watch out for you.
Is it any better for our type?
Yeah, she actually is real keen on your type.
I don't know most of what you've said, but I will say that Mallory's told me a lot about, don't show my face, don't get found, avoid... Well, your types, not you specifically, but your types. Mm-hmm. I guess they call you a full blood?
Yeah, kindred, full blood.
I was called half-breed, but it makes me sound like some sort of dog or something.
There's nothing wrong with a good half-breed, but I think it's just a different type of a thing, because you all can do shit that, fucking putting things together with blood and shoe polish and shit, and that's not something any of us can do.
Then you hear another voice go, "Yeah, what happened to Minnie?"
Minnie?
Yeah, Minnie. She used to make drugs on the side, and I know she had said she'd had one with shoe polish. That was one of her little tricks.
Don't make deals with the prince. That's what happens. Because he breaks his tools.
You see a couple faces get a little bit darker on that one. A little bit more serious.
The prince doesn't care if his tools break. And she was one of them.
And you make it sound like he's, the prince isn't going to be here long?
And things are unstable. I would be very surprised if they were allowed to be unstable for very long.
And Wallace goes, "Okay, so we keep our head down. And what? You gonna try to help protect us?"
Yeah, I will try to keep you informed.
And you want nothing back?
I want you to survive.
Excuse me if I'm questioning your motives here, but from everything I've been told by Mallory is that you full-bloods don't exactly do kind things for each other.
That's right. We don't.
So we're supposed to trust you?
I want to survive too. And I think your kind will be key to that.
And Pam looks over and just lay off for Wallace. Just stop. And Pam looks at you and goes, "He does this a lot." he's antagonistic at times, especially when he's scared. And Wallace goes, fuck you, I'm not scared.
So, like, Bruja? Sire? Just guessing.
Wallace goes, I don't know who my sire was. That's the problem. If I find the bastard who did this to me, I'll probably kill him.
Well, I mean, you'd be surprised how many kindred walk around with that feeling, too. Some of us make peace with it. A lot of us don't.
So, this is Wallace speaking. So we're basically going to be the underclass forever. I mean, is there any way that can we become? I mean, I know nobody here wants to say it, but can we become like you?
Yeah, there is a way. I do know of a way. It's not a great way, but there is a way. And as I said, I don't recommend it because we can talk about what your life is like and what my life is like and the pros and cons, and you can make a decision. And I may even help you do it. But
and Wallace Cushing goes, you can't even eat a good steak anymore?
Okay, so see, like, I had to spend a few months basically eating stuff and then throwing it up immediately until I could widen the window a little bit. And now it still has to come out eventually. However, I was used to this as, like, you know, the kind days, because, like, you know, fuck it, you don't want to choke on your own vomit, so, you know, sometimes it's good to get a good vom up before you go to bed. But, that's one of the things you give up. You give up any hope of having a normal fucking relationship.
And Wallace goes, I figured that one out. That one I've got. Mm-hmm. Well, what about, you say the people with families? Some of the people here have wives, husbands.
The first thing I did when I was turned is I cut all ties to keep them safe.
That's a lot to ask of people.
It's a lot to ask, and it's what a lot of us do. I mean, some of you may be lucky enough you can pass under the, you know, radar and nobody will notice you, but just know the closer you are to them, the more you're going to associate with them, the bigger a target they become. And it's
you see a couple nods in the crowd. A couple people look almost physically sick by that statement.
Get them somewhere safe. Get them out of any place, any major city is where there's going to be a prince. Put them somewhere where there's not a fucking prince. You don't even need to go that far.
Someone else shouts up, so what, I mean, how do we hide from, I mean, you found us here. How in the hell do we hide from?
Don't gather in groups this size. Don't. Not for a while, not until things have calmed down. Be careful online, because online you don't really have to worry about my kind, because my kind are mostly incompetent at internet bullshit, except for the occasional person that's really good at it. It's the kind you would have to worry about.
Kind?
Sorry, humans? That's what we call them? Kind and kindred?
Someone else yells, food!
No, I mean, okay, no, but sometimes we like them, but kind. That's what they are. They're not necessarily, that's a bad path to go down, is just thinking of them as food. Selectively, they're food. So, they're the ones you have to work. Oh, Second Inquisition. Do any of you know what that is? Hands.
You hear no hands go up, and you hear somebody go, I know the First Inquisition.
Oh, fuck.
And then someone else yells, no, wait a minute, Spanish, that's the Spanish Inquisition. That was Mel Brooks, wasn't it?
Oh, this night isn't going to be long enough. Oh, okay. Second Inquisition. Fuck. Kine, who figured out that we're weird and have been trying to find ways to basically figure out how to detect us and kill us indiscriminately. So it doesn't matter if you're a good guy, thin blood, or a bastard of a Tremere, you're gonna get dusted. And actually, worse than that, They won't just dust you. They will take you and they will experiment upon you.
And someone else shouts out, "You can believe her on that. Mallory told us about it."
Mm-hmm. That's what they're called, the Second Inquisition. So they monitor the online shit because they're good at that. And that's how they're trying to basically deal with us. They don't know everything about us, but they know an upsetting amount about us.
And Wallace looks at you and goes, "Tell you what, I mean, you haven't asked for anything. I still don't trust you on that one. I know you're going to come back later and ask for something. But I'll make sure my people, the ones I know, keep their heads down."
Good.
Is there somewhere I can talk to you if I need to get in contact with you?
I'm always at Purgatory.
That biker bar?
Yeah, that's my
Sweet.
bar. That's my bar.
Yeah, I've never been there, but, because Mallory told us not to go there for a while.
Talk to Jack or any of the bartenders, drop my name, and you'll be sent back to a place where we can talk openly.
And you see some more nods in the crowd from that one.
So still be careful. And she will give them a number for a burner phone.
Okay.
Like a spare burner. This is an emergency. If there's an emergency, text this. You might also be able to get messages through me. No, I'm not going to risk Lily's club. That would be bad. Risk fine. Fuck it.
I mean, you could, but
I could, but then I'd have to tell Lily after the fact.
You could give him Tabitha's number. Or even Bloodlickers.
Oh, no. Bloodlicker and I still haven't had the talk yet.
Yeah, well, you could. I didn't say it's a good idea. I said you could.
No, for now it's just her burner number.
Okay.
And Mallory also knows how to get in contact with me a few other ways, more than likely. Because he's a little bitch, and he's a nosy little bitch. So...
There's always the bar phone, too, because you can't have a bar without a bar phone. Be
careful what you say. Oh, bar phone, keep everything vague. The code word would probably be kids or runaways.
Pam laughs at that one. Well, that's true for most, for some of these people here. Not most, I guess, but a lot of us here, runaways, and always running from something.
It's one of the more sympathetic names you're called.
And you hear another one, half-breeds? Yeah.
Half-breeds is actually one of the better ones I've heard. Don't worry, we all have our own slurs.
Even in death, we can't get away from slurs?
Hell no. Fuck no. Are you kidding me? We're the worst everything humanity has to offer. Just distilled.
And you start to see people, they nod. And you seem to have won some people over, and they start filing out. And Pam's like, I don't know how you found us here. And then she goes, but I bet you that little bitch Mallory did it. Oh, he's been calling me up constantly, telling me go to ground, hide out. So I know he had to be something, but it's fine.
At least he listens. He listens.
I think you won some of them here. A few of these hard heads here probably are going to try to do their own thing, but...
At least if they're hard-headed, they're also probably not going to be tools.
True. And you got Wallace to at least, partially agree to anything. He's known by a number of them for his stubbornness, so if he's, at least somewhat agreeing, people will come to your side on that one.
That's good. That's at least good. I really don't want any of you to get massacred and whatever happens in the next few months.
And Pam's like, you're serious that we're that much danger right now?
All of us are. All of us are. Every last kindred in DC. It's not a stable situation.
I suspect our ranch really should be called off for now. Instead of,
Yes. Yeah, or if you have to do them, daytime.
Well, some of us can't. I
know. Some of you can't, and I'm sorry. Although, have you ever tried?
We've done it. Some of us...
wake them up? We can
most of us are awake during the day, even the ones that can't go out in the sunlight. But you know how they make jokes about redheads, how fast they burn in the sun? You don't want to see some of these. I mean, they don't like burst into flames, but you talking 5 minutes outside and they're red as a beet, and it gets worse from there.
That's the trick. Like, you make sure that they're in place before it's sunny. So, like, I don't know, make them sleep under a mall or some shit and then meet at the Starbucks.
I mean, we could, I guess.
It's just, it's the bullshit you got to think about, but I would definitely not, if you have to do one, don't meet at night. Do everything you can to not meet at night.
And not in numbers.
Not in numbers. Only if you have coteries, which you should start grouping up in coteries, send one person from the coterie.
Pam, because that sounds like terrorist cell bullshit.
Oh, it absolutely is. Yeah.
And that's how you operate all the time?
I'm much more seat of my pants kind of bullshit. But it's how it is. We don't have a system of government that is one you can rely upon.
Doesn't sound like it.
Nope, it's great. I mean, and to be honest, the only reason it exists is so that we can continue existing. That's it.
Well, check you later, Locke. And she walks off.
All right.
And as Locke returns to her car, there's a motorcycle parked right next to it.
Whose motorcycle?
It's not one you've seen before.
Oh, no.
And there's a person sitting on your hoopty.
Who's sitting on my hoopty?
Hello, Locke. How are you?
Nicky. Hello.
Imagine finding you out here. I might be guilty of following you just a little bit, just to see. Because I'd heard this was going on from one of my sources, and I just wanted to check out. And then I get here and surprise, surprise, I see your car, and I'm like, do I bust in and say hi? But maybe Locke's in there and she's having, a little powwow. And I decided to be nice and not steal your thunder and just kind of wait here.
Well, much appreciated.
So, what's going on with these people, the curs of the city?
They are doing their normal bullshit of not knowing half of what's going on.
How do you put up with that? I mean, it's like, in the old days, wow, the old days, that's like not even a year ago, 2 years ago. In the old days, we just murdered them out of hand. Then we didn't have the problem, but now, that we're in the tower and we have these kinder, gentler gloves sometimes. And, I've been told by his royal stuffiness not to just murder them all out of hand. And how do you deal with this?
They're extremely useful.
Okay.
And you have to admit, they have things they can do that we can't.
Yeah, I mean, not much. I mean, I guess Grigori's fascinated by some of their stuff, but I mean...
He would be.
Only things I need to worry about doing is, well, you've seen what I do. And she moves her hands like this, and you see like the shadows twirl around her a bit, and there's like 3 different shadow arms that surround her when she does it. Like, almost like tentacle masses of shadow that move. And then they just kind of fold back in. And she's like, I don't really need what they do as much.
No, but the thing is, you can't be everywhere. And that's the problem with Tower, is thinking the group instead of, anywhere else where you could just fuck off and do your own thing. Well,
no.
I guess you're the Scourge, that's kind of the definition of fucking off and doing your own thing.
Seeing you out here, though, I have to ask, you wouldn't be like doing things like being a whip anymore, right? Because I know that there was rules put about not doing those jobs, but you wouldn't do that.
No, mostly
not.
checking out a lead.
No, of course not. Are we still going out on a night? We talked about going out for a night.
We have that warehouse. Oh, did you hear about the power station?
No,
God damn it.
I know you told me the power station.
Oh, yeah,
I gotta tell you, I went to go in there and it's so frustrating. I'm like, I tried to hit a barrier. I couldn't step into it. I've never seen it before.
Go past it.
I couldn't get in there. I mean, I could look and see, and I'm like, I want to be right there, and I can't get there. It's weird. I can't. So I went. I was like, okay,
I have a question.
I'm going to talk to Grigori about it because I'd never seen anything stop me like that before. Normally, I look shadow and I'm over there, and look shadow and I'm over here. Or, oh shit, there's no shadow. Shadow there now. Now I'm there, and it just I couldn't get in, and it's kind of weird. And that's why I came to here because I was wanting to see.
Are you familiar with Ministry and what they can do?
Setites. Don't believe. Oh my God, they're not Ministry.
There's a concentration there.
That'd be like me saying that, I'm no longer La Sombra, and instead I'm just, a dark mistress. Would it really follow? I mean, nobody would believe it. We know, everyone would look at it as still La Sombra. So, Setites, got it.
Rebranding aside, the Setites. I know there's a concentration of that sort of powers there. Would that fuck with that at all?
Well, back in the day, there was always rumors of they had a temple in the area, but we never knew where.
Oh, it's there. It's there.
It's there.
It's there. Yeah.
But that wouldn't keep me from going in. I just. So you want? Hey, that can be our night of fun, right? You want to go?
Yeah. Go fuck with that.
Call me before you go. You know the bar to leave a message at, right?
Yeah. I know the bar.
Call me before you go. We'll have some fun. It'll be girls' night, kindred style.
Yes. Excellent.
Bring clothes that hide blood.
Oh, I've got lots of those. You have no idea.
Well, you haven't been out with me, but I mean, we did that little thing before that attack, and you see, I get a little messy.
So bring clothes that hide blood and maybe some wet wipes.
I mean, yeah, I'd never really use those. I normally just go jump in the river a little bit, but But yeah, let me know when you go because I want to get in there.
Okay. These
aren't going to be a problem, right?
No, these are the ones that are kind of the milquetoast ones. I was more concerned about the ones in there.
Okay, well, no.
There are thin bloods in.
Well, yeah, you told me all that stuff, and there's supposedly kindred there. This buzzsaw sounds like he's going to be a lot of fun. My kind of fun. But I just want to make sure these here, they're not going to cause problems. I'm not going to have to.
They're not going to cause problems,
because they're not even fun it's not even a challenge. It's just like I go in there, they go, oh God, don't kill me. And then I start murdering them all. And, it's not as much fun, but
these, however, have guns. I
haven't been shot lately. So. But that's good. I just wanted to make sure. And, of course, you weren't doing anything like a whip. So I'll make sure that, you not doing whip things is not reported or reported anywhere. We just, it was just girls' night here. Just a brief little chat.
Well, thank you.
Toodles. And she hops on the motorcycle. And it's a Kawasaki. And I mean, she doesn't go with the big loud Harley. She's got a crotch rocket. And it takes off like a crotch rocket as she wheelies down the street, which is kind of odd. You wouldn't have expected it from her, but it is what it is. Leaving Locke outside a warehouse in Clinton after a run-in with Victoria and with her thin blood.
This is fine.
That is going to be on Locke's urn. If she ever gets final death, the ashes will go in the urn with "This is fine" written on it.
This is okay. This is working out to plan. Let's just go home.
And this is where we'll end this scene. And thank you, Locke, for doing this one. I know you've been wanting to get establish more of your thin blood parts because you're trying to you want to be not only the alpha of the gangrel, but you actually want to be alpha of the thin bloods, but not in you want to run them. You want to be the one that stands between them and being wiped out.
Yep.
Protector, maybe? Guardian?
Oh, it's a hell of a, what is it? Hold on a second.
Which actually goes back to a conviction of Locke's, which is so funny.
Conviction, stand up for the disenfranchised.
And you don't get much more disenfranchised than the thin bloods in a Camarilla City. I mean, at least mortals have a place as food. Thin bloods in a Camarilla City, most of them don't even have that luxury.
Yeah.
So that's where we end it. And thank you, Locke. And I will give Locke another shout out if you like Dungeons & Dragons Pathfinder 2. Hit her up on Twitter.
Hit me up on Twitter or hit me up in the Discord.
Yep.
Just direct message me.
Yep. On Discord, K Cunning. Or Locke on our Discord, but K Cunning on Twitch. You'll see it on the panel here when it's streamed, but hit her up. She knows a guy, and she runs Pathfinder, so jump in on that. Thank you for watching tonight's vignette. If you'd like to join us on the Discord, an amazing community of people, talk with any of the cast of any of the McStabber Studio shows, look over in the chat over there. There's a link to the Discord right there. Pop on over, say hey. If you'd like to catch our back content on YouTube, links over there in the chat as well. We've got all of our back content there, as well as 60 days worth of back content on Twitch itself. If you would like to give Black Death Chronicles or Ishvel a subscribe on YouTube, go ahead. We're trying to get their numbers up to where they can get a shorter URL so that it's a little easier to remember what their URL is. If you want to check out some amazing content creators that we're big fans of here at McStabber Studios, go ahead, peek in the chat. Take a look at that. We got some of that there. If you're a Amazon Prime member, you know you can subscribe for free. If you want to support the channel, give us a follow. You really want to support us, of course, subscribe. We love it, you know. This Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, Ishvel starts back up here on McStabber Studios, and we're really happy to have them there. It's a great show. It's Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Sunday at 6 p.m., we're doing DC by Night again. Vengeance Waits. So please pop over. It's episode 33. Watch that 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have, of course, Black Death Chronicle with Tamshoot. Last night's episode was so disturbing, but so good. And then, of course, every Wednesday, if you're seeing this, you know, every Wednesday, 9 p.m., we're doing DC by Night vignettes. One other special announcement. We are currently doing our casting call for people to participate in a Wraith the Oblivion stream. Now, this is, as I pointed out before, this is a rather brutal game, to be honest. But we've opened it up to members of our Discord first, so pop over to the Discord if you're interested. Go down to the casting couch. There's a pinned link right in there that'll take you to the intro paper and the casting call application so that you can see about being involved in this dark Wraith game. For those that have never played it before, of course, you're playing a ghost, a dead person. But it's another World of Darkness game. So like all of them, it's even darker than you would expect. So I hope to see more people applying. We've got a number of people applied already, but I like to have a nice long list of people to interview and talk to so we can figure out to get the best show possible, honestly. So thank you all, and thank you all for your support. Good night, victims.